reason of concern about this developing supercell southwest of the metro.
We expect a tornado outbreak beginning as early as noon.
Get that seed in yet?
It'll be done today.
Tornado warnings are just outside our viewing area. But we're under a particularly dangerous situation, Tornado Watch.
Don't worry about this, we're gonna get through it. We always do get through it, and we're gonna get through it again.
Tornado! Everybody out! Tornado!
I'm Sari Cohen with Hollywood First Look. Joining me right now is director Lindsay Gossling and real-life storm chaser Travis Farncombe, and we're talking about their new film, 13 Minutes. What is it like being a storm chaser? I mean, what does that entail? And more importantly, I want to know, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll actually tell you that we tried to give audiences a moment of that in the film. It's when Kim's looking out at the supercell before it hits. And the truth is, it is the most visceral and sensory experience you'll ever have. It's incredibly humbling, and it is amazing. And we tried to bring a bit of that to 13 minutes.
Lindsay, now tell me the story. I know your goal is to tell compelling human stories, and you certainly did that with this, but how did you two come together?
You know, when Travis and I first started talking about making a tornado movie, one of the things we really wanted to make sure that we did was tell the human story. That's, you know, so often, you know, the devastation and the destruction and the lives that are upturned with disasters like this don't always come through in tornado movies. And we wanted to give that excitement and the thrilling ride of tornado movies, but we also wanted to ground it in the real world and also tell the drama, you know, and the lives of all of the people who can be impacted by a disaster like this.
One of the things I found most compelling were the characters. How did you even begin to develop the characters for this?
You know, Travis and I developed the story together. So we worked very closely, you know, from inception to really craft what this story would become. And, you know, one of the big problems that he has experienced and witnessed as a chaser and part of the chase community is, you know, the challenges that they have getting people to respond properly to weather warnings. And they find people either just don't listen, they're out there Instagramming, instead of getting to shelter, they get confused by mixed messaging or outdated advice, or they don't understand because of language barriers. And the more we started talking about this, the more we started to be able to sort of, you know, link each one of those to a real human problem that is, you know, contemporary, current, meaningful.
And the big spoiler alert is there's not a storm chaser in the movie. We made a point to focus on the people who are impacted by these events. And I think that makes it more real, more compelling, and more important.
I thought, to me, what it seemed like was that every one of these characters was metaphorically weathering a storm, and quite literally weathering a storm. Travis, I'll ask you, how did you make that magic happen on screen?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, we had an amazing director, an amazing cast and crew, and everybody was just focused on staying true to an event like this, staying real and not getting heavy-handed with kind of over glorifying or getting too carried away with what you could do with the tornado movie, because it would be very easy to get carried away. You know, we wanted to tell a story about survival, and to your point about the metaphor there, the story is about of course, we've got this amazing, thrilling, action-packed tornado that everyone physically has to survive.
What makes 13 Minutes a universal story?
The tornado in the film is an out of the blue event. I mean, we know over the course of this day the tornado is coming, but any disaster like this is that thing in anybody's life that suddenly you're going through your day or your life and this thing happens, whatever that may be, and it changes everything. And, you know, I think we have all experienced those moments, and we've all experienced, you know, reflected on that and thought, what was my life like before, and how now that this thing has happened, how will it be different? How will I change things in the future?
I think that the pandemic has, you know, unfortunately added this layer of relevance to 13 Minutes where everybody has had to survive and rely on the people around us for survival through this. So I think that's one of the things that makes 13 Minutes so important and poignant and special right now.
13 Minutes hits theaters on October 29th and will be available on digital November 19th. I'm Sari Cohen. I'll see you next time.
This is a 1 in 1,000 type warning.